Kyle McCord went into the transfer portal, once again putting Ohio State in a position where it's going to have a quarterback battle. And as of right now, it's Devin Brown and Lincoln Keenholz who are a part of that. But a five-star quarterback out of Georgia, Air Noland, will be joining that competition very soon here in January as an early enrollee. Andrew, when you look at the experience that's on the roster right now with Devin Brown, and obviously we're going to get a better look at him when we get to the Cotton Bowl, but then Lincoln Keenholz, obviously in the position he is in right now, is going into his second year, not necessarily doing a lot in year one, but do you think there's a chance that at some point during the 2024 season, Air Noland, as a five-star recruit out of Georgia, playing at a high level, almost had 50-plus touchdowns this past season, could put himself in a position to be the starting quarterback at Ohio State as a true freshman?
I mean, it's possible. I would kind of phrase it like this to Ohio State fans. If Air Noland is the starting quarterback of this team in 2024, something has gone terribly wrong or something has gone terribly right. And terribly wrong would be Devin Brown's not playing well. Keenholz isn't playing well. You don't trust those guys, and you got to turn to the true freshman maybe before you wanted to. Or the really good part of that is that Air Noland just shows up, and you look at him and say, we cannot leave this guy off the field. We have to play him. This is a Trevor Lawrence level player, where if you remember back in, I believe it was 2019, Clemson played Kelly Bryant for a couple of games, and then it just reached a point where they went, we can't do this anymore. We have to play Trevor Lawrence. We have to be fair to Kelly Bryant to give him his 4 games and get him his red shirt, but we got to play this guy. We got to play the freshman. And I think that that's the best case scenario for Ohio State fans. So I think it's possible. I would lean less likely because the quarterback position, especially at Ohio State, demands so much, and it demands a lot. I know fans are going to want to see Air Noland the first time Devin Brown or whoever the quarterback is throws an incomplete pass. Everybody's going to want to see Air Noland throw the ball, but this is a situation where I think it's just going to be less likely than, a Jeremiah Smith, because there's just so much to learn, there's so much to accomplish, and there's so much you have to kind of beat out on the depth chart, right? You have to beat out experienced guys that have been doing this for a couple of years, and I look at Air Noland and I see a player who should be very, very good very, very soon. I just don't know if it's going to be in year one.
I think what makes this an interesting thing is the 12-team playoff. You're no longer in a situation where one loss kills your season, or even two losses.
Yeah.
You can continue to roll. And plus, what the schedule looks like. I don't think Ryan Day has to back himself into a corner with a quarterback. I don't think he has to pick a guy, stick with him, and just trust that he's going to continue to improve throughout the season. I'm with you. I don't think Air Noland wins his job on day one, and I'm not even sure if he ever wins the job. But I do think the opportunity does present itself, because what if you pick Devin Brown and it doesn't look great? What if you pick Lincoln Keenholz and it doesn't look great? You can get to week 6 and make a change. In fact, they have 2 bye weeks next year, so you can make a change at either one of those bye weeks, because you can take a loss and it doesn't kill your season. And so you can maybe make some decisions going forward because of the 12-team playoff with your roster that maybe you wouldn't have made in the past. And it starts at quarterback. I do think there's an opportunity there if these are going to be the 3 guys who are battling. Now, if they add a transfer quarterback with the idea of maybe he competes for the starting job, then that changes the equation automatically, obviously. But if these are the 3 guys that Ohio State's going to roll with and find a quarterback from this group, I don't want to say it's impossible. I don't think it's not unlikely. The idea there is a path.
Yeah.
Where Air Noland can do this, because he's got the perfect makeup to do it. He's a guy from Georgia playing at a high-level program and a high-level state. He's a 5-star recruit, and he's coming into a room. He's a lefty, too. Got to love the lefty. Shout out to Tua. Shout out to Andrew, too. But I think there is a path where if you told me these things played out, and we get to week 6, and Air Noland's the starting quarterback, I'm not going to look at you sideways about it. I think that's a very different way to talk about it than we were talking about with Jeremiah Smith, where it's like, undoubtedly, he's probably going to be a starter. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but I do think there's an opportunity for it to happen. Get the text, 614-350-3315. As we're talking with Ryan Day, we're asking him these types of questions, plus much more. 2-week free trial, $3.99 after that, and go listen to Buckeye Talk wherever you get podcasts.